Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh my gosh, I am exhausted. I'm like exhausted. Physically, I'm exhausted. Mentally, I'm just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. TV shows to watch. I just filmed 6 videos. This is the 7th video that I'm filming today. I just feel like every day is so crazy anymore. So anyway, let's do a time and temperature check first. Currently, it is 6:39 p.m., which I'm sure... Hey, how are you? How's Tiger doing today? Hi, Tiger. Hey, honey. She always just like stops and looks at me. So it is currently... Oh, no, it just turned. It's now 6:40 p.m. That little interchange took a minute. It's 6:40 p.m. And let's see what the temperature is. It's a beautiful fall day in Indianapolis. It feels like Halloween outside. And it is currently, let's see, it is 74 degrees and partly cloudy outside. You can't see. Partly cloudy outside. Let's see what tomorrow is supposed to be like. Hold on a second. Tomorrow is going to be 73 and looks like partly cloudy. Sunshine and clouds. Oh, then Thursday it drops down to 10 degrees, 64, abundant sunshine. It's supposed to be pretty but colder. Oh, then remember it wasn't supposed to get that cold. 71 on Friday, 62 on Saturday, 61 on Sunday, so cooler this weekend, which I'm not mad about. And then 69, 75, 77, and then Thursday for Halloween, 71 and rain. The only day that it's supposed to rain until the 5th is Halloween. Overcast with rain showers at times. I remember, I don't even know how many years ago it was. Caroline will pull the picture up. She can always find the picture, but it might have been before I was on YouTube. I don't even remember. We went over to Caroline's for Halloween, and I love Halloween so much. I think I know Halloween's my favorite holiday. It's like Halloween, and then Christmas Eve. You know, it's interesting because you would think like I'm this huge like holiday person. I'm not a huge holiday person. I like Halloween and Christmas Eve are kind of a tie for me. There's a sadness that kind of comes along with me for Christmas Day. I don't know why. Just like all the excitement of leading up to Christmas, and Christmas Day, it's kind of like it's all over. And then, I'm not a big New Year's fan. I like New Year's, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Valentine's Day I like, but it's whatever. Alex's birthday is like one of my favorite holidays. Our anniversary, I think, is probably like a big holiday for me. I like to get together with family for Thanksgiving. That'll be fun. We're going to need to talk about that on Halloween. Because how we're going to like do all that kind of stuff. Because I'm sure Alex's aunt and uncle will do something. Caroline will do something. And Caroline will invite, you know, Alex's mom and Carlos and Liliana and the kids over there and stuff like that. So it depends on what they're doing that day. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I like Thanksgiving. For getting together with the family and stuff like that. I actually, over on my Peter Monn channel today, I reacted to another Am I the A-hole thing on the Reddit thread. And one of them, I did like 3 of them over there today. And one of them was about this guy that always hosts Thanksgiving. And he feels like his family takes him for granted. He's done it like 5 years in a row. And he buys all the groceries, does all the cooking. They don't bring anything. And they don't pay for anything. And when he started to set some boundaries, they started getting really, really upset with him. And his mom called him selfish and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, what is this? Oh, it's my bag from Thornton's because I did a review out here earlier. I'll just leave that right here until I go in. I actually bought this hoodie in, it says La Jolla on it. I bought it the night before, well, the night that we went out to dinner with Jesse and Fufu, the first time we went out there to visit them. I don't even know how many years ago that was. Oh God, it would have been longer than that. 4 or 5 years ago that we went to visit them when we stayed in Pacific Beach. And the last night, we all went out to dinner. They had this restaurant that they found or knew or something that like overlooks the water in La Jolla. It was beautiful. That area is so pretty. I think it was called George's or something like that. It's like a guy's name. And we walked all through La Jolla, and right before we went to dinner, we went into this like, it was like a souvenir shop, but it was like a fancy souvenir shop. And I wanted a hoodie that said La Jolla on it, and they had one in the window. And so I went in there, I looked at him, and that's where I got I was like, I gotta get something for Tanya. And so Alex like picked out this one that he wanted for himself that was like all fuzzy. And it said like, it had like in leather, it said like La Jolla or something, or San Diego. And so I got her the same one. I can't remember how it went. Now I think I called her or a text, I don't know. But anyway, she was like, always have Alex pick out my gifts for me when you go on vacation. So anyway, I feel like I can finally relax a little bit. Last night it turned out to be a good night. It did not start being a good night with Boo Radley. Well, first of all, let me just say this. Okay, so I don't know what happened last night. I uploaded my vlog. I had to upload my vlog 3 times last night. It kept on getting, so when you upload it, it goes, first I have to render it in iMovie. Then you have to upload it. And I can either upload it on my phone or I can upload it on the computer. But you upload it, and then once it's uploaded, it goes through processing. Once it's processing, it goes through checking. And then then you can post it. And it kept on getting stuck in checking last night. I don't know why. Like, every time I uploaded it, I reached out to some other people and I was like, are you having the same problem? They're like, well, we're not uploading videos at 11, 12 o'clock at night. Like, I had it ready to go at 10 o'clock at night, but it just kept on getting stuck. And so I kept on re-uploading it. And then I was like, everybody's going to be worried that watches my vlog about that something happened with Boo Radley if I don't post a vlog. So I don't know what time it was. I think it was 12:30 or 1 or something like that. I finally, because I thought I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I would keep on coming back every half an hour, and it was still stuck. And somebody I reached out to said that YouTube is changing a lot of things on the back end, a lot of technological things. And so when they change stuff, sometimes uploading a video doesn't work great, and they're like, maybe that's why it's happening. So I don't know, my other videos went up fine yesterday. It was just my vlog. And so I finally, I uploaded it on the computer, and I had been uploading on my phone. It might have had something to do with me uploading it on my phone, because I finally uploaded it on the computer, and it went through. And it was probably an hour after I made a post, because I posted in the Vloggerinos group, and I also posted in the community tab that I had the vlog filmed, and then it was just it was stuck, and I just couldn't get it. I would post it as soon as I could. Because so many people have asked me, and I would do this anyway, I just want you to know, if something happens and I'm going to take a day off, and I don't know that that's not going to happen sometime in the near future. If something happens with Boo Radley, I will more than likely obviously take, a couple days off. And if I do, I will definitely I'll put a post, not just, in the Vloggerinos group, but on the vlog community tab, but I'll probably put something up on my Instagram. I don't know that I'll put up there, that I'm taking days off, but I'll definitely put it over there, and I'll put it on the vlog community tab. And I know people don't sometimes go over there to look. I hardly ever look at people's community tabs. But I'll put it on the community tab, and I'll also put it in, up on my Peter Monn channel. I might just it depends on how many days I feel let's hope that nothing happens, but I'm just saying in advance, because I don't want, if something like that happens, I will put out a post. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I should probably make a clearer statement. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no vlog up, I mean, my first inclination is not going to be, if something happens in the middle of the night, to, run over. I've got to take care of my family first, But, I also don't want people freaked out. If it's 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and there's no vlog up, obviously I'll let you guys know. I just want to make that clear that you guys know. That's why I posted last night, because I didn't want anybody to worry about it. And a couple people messaged me and said I was waiting for your vlog. I was a little worried, so thank you so much for posting it. I don't want anybody hanging and being what's going on, blah, 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 whatever. So that's what happened last night. I think it got stuck in processing one time, and then it got stuck in checking another time or something. I don't know, but finally it went up. I went over and checked it, and it was ready to go. I was like, okay, thank God. And that was the time that I'd uploaded on the computer. So maybe it had something to do with my phone, uploading it on my phone. I don't know why that would happen. Interestingly enough, our internet at in the middle of the night reboots and things like that. So it goes, it stops and then it starts again. Because when I'm, sitting there watching TV, sometimes on my iPad, it'll go out, and then I have to, wait 5 minutes, and then it reboots up again. I don't know why. It does it. It's most nights that it does that. So it might have had something to do with that, too, earlier evening. I don't know. But anyway, so I just want to explain why that got up late last night. Last night was a little rough. So our doctor had said to give him the trazodone so he could sleep through the night. I just think the little guy was so exhausted from the walking and the being up and down, and it's just been days of recovering and whatever. So we gave him the trazodone. He finally fell asleep. I don't even remember what time it was, but he slept, and I feel like it was before I feel like he fell asleep like right after I got in with my vlog. I don't even really remember, honestly. But he was like out. Like, we had to give him his medication at 10 o'clock, and I was like, do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it? And Alex was like, we're gonna have to do this together, because he's like asleep. Like, I mean, he was asleep. And he hadn't slept like that. I mean, it's probably been 2 weeks since he's slept like that. And so Alex held him, and I gave him his medication, because you have to, like, you know, shoot it into his mouth with these syringes. And so I gave him his medication, and then he went right back to sleep. And he never usually does that. He usually walks. Like, I mean, this is like the trazodone. We gave him like half a trazodone. It was like a really light dose. I mean, that's how bad, like, this little guy needed to sleep. Because, you know, our vet was like, if he can get 2 or 3 nights of, like, really good sleep, that maybe it'll, like, quicken the healing. Because he's not getting any sleep, hardly. You know, he's sleeping for like an hour, then getting up, sleeping for another hour, half an hour, getting up. So if he can get like a good night's sleep, then maybe he'll start feeling better. So Alex and I were watching something. I can't remember what we were watching. Anyway, after the medication, Alex went upstairs because Alex was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. And so, because he was like, I gotta get up early tomorrow and stuff like that. That was at like 10:45. So we took Boo Radley upstairs. I mean, he was just like passed out asleep. Put him in his little like bed on the floor and stuff like that. Well, I was downstairs watching. Oh, I watched the Woman of the Hour last night with Anna Kendrick on Netflix. I'll talk about that in just a second. I'm gonna probably have to move to that chair in a second because it's gonna start getting dark. But I started watching it, and like I noticed that the lights went on upstairs because it's like we can, over the sliding glass, you know, door, you can see like there's windows that like, anyway. So when he puts the lights on upstairs, because we have a loft in our bedroom, it goes up, and so, or the light, I can see the lights go on, and so like I took my AirPods out and like ran upstairs. And he was holding Boo, and I was like, did something happen? Did he have a seizure? He's like, he didn't have a seizure, he's fine. But he's like, he's just like got up and he's pacing, and he's so wobbly because the trazodone makes it, I don't know why it works on him, but it doesn't work on me. That trazodone never worked on me. But one of my friend's husbands takes trazodone too, and she's like, every night he takes it, he's like out in half an hour. She's like, and he sleeps deep. That trazodone didn't do anything to me. So anyway, he's like, he's just really wobbly, and he like got up off of his bed and he was trying to walk around, but he like can't stand up because he's like so wobbly. So then I was like, well, do you think that we should give him more trazodone? And I was like, we usually, like for his blood tests and stuff, we give him like one at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then he usually, I mean, this is before all this stuff happened, and then he sleeps through the night, and then in the morning, before like Alex takes him to the vet, like for his blood work or, you know, whatever, getting groomed, he'll give him another one. And so the whole next day, he's super, super tired and super groggy. So Alex is like, I don't know, like, I want him to get sleep, but, like, then tomorrow he's going to be out of it all day. I mean, he's out of it, like, can't walk and stuff like that. I mean, he's always been like that. We've been giving him the trazodone for years for, like, vet visits and stuff like that because he's so anxious at the vets. And so, so we waited, and we, like, held him. And I think we just were kind of like, I don't know. It just got very sad last night. And we just were like, are we at the end? Like, what's going on here, right? Like, it just was a very sad night. And like, Alex was like, I don't even know if I'm going to go into work tomorrow. I mean, Alex was like wide awake. I was wide awake. And we just sat with Boo. And he finally, like, started settling down a little bit. And he laid down on his bed. And then, like, 5 minutes later, he got up. And this was at, actually, I took all the notes. So I can look in my notes to see the time that we gave him. Because I gave him, Alex is like, well, because we give him a half trazodone. So Alex is like, if you can give him a fourth of a trazodone. Okay, Boo Radley, when we even give him the shots in his mouth, he goes like this. He's constantly like this with his head. So he slept from like 8 until like 12:30, and then he got up. And so we got 4.5 hours of like deep sleep. I mean, he was snoring. The little guy was snoring. I came up there at one point, and Alex goes, I was like, what's that sound? Alex was like, he's snoring. And I go, what? And he's like, we put the purple, so we traded the purple bed for the gray bed on the other side, and because he loves the purple bed more. And so he was like in this tight circle. He was like, I mean, he was like up and down. I mean, he was deep, deep sleeping. And I was a little worried because so many things that people have said online are like in these like forums and stuff is that dogs can have seizures when they like are in deep REM sleep. And so we're thinking that's like why he had these seizures when he slept. But we made it through last night with another night with no seizures, thank God. So, hold on a second. That was at, I have to like go all the way down here to my notes. So he woke up and he really was having like a hard time walking. We took him out a bunch and he just really wasn't wanting to be outside at all and wasn't really wanting to drink any water and all this kind of stuff. And then so he started to pace, and so at 1:15 I gave him 0.3 milligrams of trazodone, and then I gave him, or 1.3 of gabapentin, and I gave him because Alex was like, let's not give him another half, let's give him a fourth, and we gave him a fourth of trazodone, and that was at 1:15. He walked a little bit in the bedroom. It's not like the manic pacing, it's real slow, he just kind of walks around, but he was up again, and the trazodone should have kept him out the whole night. So we gave him the fourth of trazodone. I had to pill him that time. I do not like doing that with dogs. We had to do it with Pee-Pee. Pee-Pee got so used to it at the end that he just kind of like, pilling is where you have to like put the pill in the back of their mouth. They actually have things that you can buy where you like shoot it into the back of their mouth. Today I did it with his carprofen because we've been trying to hide it and stuff, but like he's so messy that now we can't see if he like just eats a treat because he just is like so messy with the food. Actually today, well, we'll get to today in a second, because today he was not as messy with his food. So, but I just like, when I gave him his 2 o'clock dose of the other mess, because that's when we give him the carprofen. She said we can give it to him really anytime during the day, but we try to give him it to him at 2 o'clock. I just like held his mouth open and I like pilled him. He did not like it, but I was like, we got to make sure that you're getting this medicine. So he slept last night. He fell asleep around 2 o'clock, and most of this, Alex finally went to sleep after Boo Radley went to sleep at 2 o'clock, and I just kind of laid in bed, and I played solitaire, and I just kind of like watched him sleep, because I was afraid. I was like, he's going to wake up, he's going to wake up, he's going to wake up. And I finally got my iPad, and I watched Only Murders in the Building, and I watched Dragula. Earlier in the evening, I had started watching, this is when he was sleeping, till 12:30. I watched, what do you call it? Woman of the Hour with Anna Kendrick, but I'll get to the TV shows in just a second. So he slept until 6. He slept until 6:30. So from 2 to 6:30. So he had 8 until 12:30, so he had 4.5 hours. Then he had another 4.5 hours. At that point, we were just so sad. I mean, honest to God, we were like, okay, like this either has to like drastically improve in a couple days. And the vet told us, she was like, if he can get a couple good nights of sleep, you might see a different dog. Like, I think, she was like, what you're seeing, I think, is the result of 2 seizures that he's recovering from in the last week, and that he's not getting any sleep. He's like restless most of the night, which goes along with the Keppra, but it also goes along with seizures, dementia, things like that. So she's like, if he could just get a couple good nights of sleep. And I talked to her today, because he got good sleep last night with the trazodone, and I said, you know, like, this is just kind of a short-term fix. And she said, for right now. She said, because like Alex was wanting to know if we were just doing this for a short time or whatever, and she was like, but if it works, she was like, we can give him a reduced amount of trazodone so that he can sleep through the night. So he slept until 6:30. Alex gave him his medicine, at 6. He went right back to sleep, and then at 6:30 he got up. I took him out at 6:30, and then he was like wobbly and stuff and whatever, and he like peed and all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen that couple in a long time. He like peed and did his business and everything like that, but he was real wobbly outside. And so I was like, okay, I don't know if this is the trazodone or him being sleepy or what's going on. I was really sad last night. Like, talked to my sponsor about it, Tanya, Nikki, everybody. I was just like, really, like, Alex and I talked for a long time, and but we're also like, this is how he acts on trazodone, so we didn't know, right? So he slept. Alex gave him his medicine at 6, and then he went back to sleep till 6:30, and then he got up and he started walking, so I took him outside. Well, when I brought him back inside, Alex was getting ready for work, and he kind of like stood in the bathroom with Alex while he was getting ready, and then Alex opened the door, and when he opened the door, he went right back over to his bed. He's been sleeping like not so much in his bed. Oh, this was the thing. So last night we brought his purple bed up on the bed last night. I like put all the pillows around it and stuff and whatever, because Alex is like, let's just let him sleep up here on the bed tonight. Maybe he'll be more comfortable. So from 2 to 6:30 or 2 to 6, he slept in the purple bed between us again. It was really nice. And then Alex brought him back over there at 6, and then at 6:30 was like when he like, you know, okay. So he went in the bathroom with Alex while Alex was like getting ready for work, and then when Alex opened the door, he like went right over. At that point, I had put the purple bed down on the floor next to his blankets and stuff, and he went right over to the purple bed, and he curled right in the purple bed, and he just like curled up in a circle and went to sleep. I wasn't super hopeful, I'll be honest with you. So today, I was exhausted. I think I went to bed last night at like 7:45. I think was the last time I looked at the clock. I actually just made this is totally on a tangent, but I just made this dirty soda over here on my Peter Does Stuff channel. Dirty Diet Coke. It's actually delicious. These dirty sodas are delicious, so I'm gonna drink this. I had a little bit of coffee earlier, but not much. I didn't even get the coffee until after I made this, and I was like, I had like 2 tablespoons of coffee or something like that earlier, but anyway. So I was out. I was like exhausted. Well, like 11:30, I like, hey, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Good. 11:30, I woke up, and I was like facing the other way, and I heard him, and I was like, I like turned over real quick, like what's going on? And he's in his purple bed, and he's doing this thing, like where he's like, you know, trying to make the bed. Okay, he hasn't done that in like 2 weeks. I was like, what's going on here? You know, where like they ruffle the bed, like he moves around. And I just watched him for a second because I said something, I knew he'd be like up, right? So I just watched him, and he was like digging in the bed, and then he'd like move around, he was digging in the bed again. And then he like curled up and he went back to sleep. And I just stood there. I laid there in bed for like 10 minutes and watched him, and he was asleep. So then finally I got up at like 1 o'clock. And when I got up at 1 o'clock, I looked over, and he was like in his purple bed, and he was just like sitting there, and he was just kind of like looking around the room and stuff like that. And then he like looked over at me, and he caught my eye, and and then all of a sudden he like perked up, and I was like, do you want to go potty outside? And he kind of got excited. So I got my clothes on, all kind of stuff, and I took him outside, and my neighbor across the street was out, and she was out next door training her dog, and he was real wobbly. So I was telling him about last night. I was like, it wasn't good, blah, 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 whatever. And all of a sudden, he just like trots across the street to my neighbor, Mrs., and she's like, well, hi, Boo Radley, how are you? She was like, and she was real sweet. She was like, I heard things aren't doing, and he just trots over there. And just is like, and he went like that, and she reached over, because that's what he loves. That's his thing. He loves to have his chin scratched. And so she's like, he seems pretty good today. And I go, yeah, this is different. And so then my neighbor was training her dog, and so he saw her dog. He doesn't notice dogs very much at all. There's been like a few instances here when he saw the neighbor here, you know, chased after that one dog the other day, followed after the dog, but not really much. And so phone keeps on going off. And so he like sees her out there training her dog on the other side of her house, and so he starts trotting over there, and I was like, do you want me to stop him? He wasn't running or anything. He was just kind of like noticing what's going on. His eyesight's still not great. And so she was like, no, this is actually good for her, because I'm teaching her to stay when other dogs walk by. And so Boo Riley just kind of like stopped and like looked at her, and then he does this thing where he's like that. He does this little thing. It's not like a sneeze. The reverse sneezing is still existing too. But then he turned around, and he like trotted back over, and he saw my neighbor across the street again. And then he was like walking the grass, and I was talking to her. And I turned around, he was just like smelling stuff. He wasn't walking in circles as much as he has been. And I mean, he walks like in these large looping circles. It's not like the small circles. And so then he kind of just like walked back up, and I must be leaning forward or something. The camera keeps on going off. And so he just like started trotting back up. So I picked him up and brought him inside, and he was just like walking around. I got him a bunch of stuff to eat, a bunch of food to eat. He ate a whole thing, was drinking water. We were having to give him water like out of a cup. He was drinking water out of his water bowl. Did pretty good most of the afternoon. I mean, he was up. I gave him his medicine at 2. He kind of fought me on the medicine. Well, he did fight me on the medicine, especially the being, you know, the carprofen, but he did good. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to film some videos and whatever. He'd lay down for like an hour, and then he'd get up, and he'd like go in the kitchen. But it wasn't like this routine of like the walking. And you could tell that he was still kind of like hurting a little bit from like walking so much, but he seemed a lot normal. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I really thought last night, I was like, this is the end. We're at the end. And then today, it's like completely different. And then Alex came home, and like I was in the kitchen and I could hear Alex pull in the garage. I was putting stuff away. And I said to Bradley, I said, like, his hearing is not great anymore either. It's like I said something to Alex about that like a week ago, and he goes, babe, his hearing was bad before all this happened. And I was like, well, we've never really known if he ignores us or if his hearing's just bad. And I looked at him and I go, Bradley, your dad's home. And so I started walking up, and he like followed after me. And then when Alex came in, he like ran up to Alex, and Alex goes, has he been like this all day long? And I go, and he was just like running around, you know, and he got real excited when he saw Alex, and Alex picked him up, and he was just kind of like cheesing and stuff. And Alex goes, has he been like this normal all day long? I go, no, it was kind of slow getting to here. I say he's still tired, I think, from the trazodone. And Alex was like, do you think that we should give him the trazodone again tonight? And I said, yeah, the vet said that we should give it to him like for 2 or 3 nights. I think we should try that if he can get through a night of sleep. And he was like, okay. And I said, I'd like to give it to him later, though, because I'd like him to be able to sleep through the whole night instead of him waking up at 12:30 and us having to give him another dose. If he could sleep, if we give it to him later, then he can sleep through the whole night. And he was like, okay. And so Alex went upstairs and changed, and then he took him outside. And when he came back in, I said, how was he? He goes, he was running around the backyard. He was like, did one night of sleep do this to him? I mean, we thought that we were at the end last night. And so he came inside, and he was just like, and so Alex came downstairs because he was getting ready to heat up some his leftover pizza from last night, and he was going to watch some TV. And I was like, what are you doing tonight? He's like, I'm tired, because we were both like up and down all night. Well, I was up late, and he was up and down all night long. And so he was like, I'm going to watch a show, I'm going to heat up some pizza, and I'm probably going to go to bed early. He goes, I'm going to go to bed like between 9 or 10. And he's like, well, I'll wait up till 10 so we can give him his last dose in case you need my help. And I said, okay. He said, so I'm going to go to bed after that. And I just put out some food. He has this like, I don't know what it's called, Heartland or Harvest or something like that food. It's like the Royal, I guess somebody said I pronounced it wrong. I think I said that already, Royal Canine, but I guess it's Royal Canin or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, he like, on the rubber thing that we're using now instead of the plate, it's harder for him to pick that up. So the other one's easier, so I just put it out. He had already eaten an entire plate of that and the Royal Canine or Canin or whatever it is. He'd eaten that. Oh, by the way, and mispronouncing things, which I always do, I guess the other day in my video, I kept on referring to the deep fryer as the air fryer. Or I referred to the air fryer as a deep fryer. I didn't even realize I did that. And there were like several comments, and people were like, Peter, can you please call it an air fryer? It's an air fryer. I'm fully aware of that. I don't know why I called it a deep fryer. So anyway, huge difference, I know. But anyway, I will make sure that from now on going forward, I call it an air fryer. I didn't mean to offend you guys by calling it a deep fryer. It's getting really dark, so I'm going to have to probably move to that chair in a second. Oh, there he is in the kitchen. So he was going to heat him up some more food. He's been super hungry today. Still having like a hard time like coming up here and stuff like that. Doesn't have a hard time like going down stuff. Has a hard time like getting up on stuff. So I don't know. We're really just taking it day by day. But today's been a good day for Boo. It's been a good day. It's been a good day for the little guy. You know, he's had lots of treats, and he's just seemed real content today. And I don't know if it's just, I mean, a night of good sleep can completely change you. I counted, so he got like 4.5 hours of sleep. Then he got another 4.5 hours of sleep, so that's 9 hours total, right? And then he slept from probably 7 to like 1, but he got up a couple times in there, so let's just say 5 hours of sleep total. Let's discount an hour that maybe he got up, you know, and walked around while I was asleep. So total, he got like 14 hours of sleep in the last 24. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I think he really needed it. Like Alex, when he came in today, he goes, I can totally tell a difference in how he's walking. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you can tell in his back legs. You can tell it's just a complete difference in how he's walking today. He's like, he's rested. So, I don't know. We're both feeling a little bit more hopeful, but I think we both also know that we're just taking this day by day at this point. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen. And I think that my goal for this year of just living in the present moment, like this is such a practice of that, of just being, where am I at on time? It looks like I'm almost at the end. I'll try to finish this up, and then I'm going to go inside and turn the light on and come over there. This practice of living in the moment, especially going through what I'm going through with Boo, and what we're going through with Boo, has really made me realize just the preciousness of living in each moment, and that we're given today, and that tomorrow it might be a completely different story. And I know this is going to sound crazy. Like when acceptance comes up in meetings, I'm always like, what's the alternative? But I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, today is good, and if tomorrow isn't, then we'll deal with tomorrow when it comes. So, all right, I'm gonna go inside and turn on the light, and I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. I just asked Alex what he was doing. He's unloading the dishwasher that I started about 2 hours ago. And he was like, I'm dancing with the dishes. I'm dancing with the plates. And he has Hysteria on in the background. He's watching Hysteria. And he just got done eating. And I'm not really hungry. I haven't really eaten a whole lot today. Well, I haven't eaten anything today except for these chips that I reviewed. And I didn't really eat a whole lot last night either. So, but I have to tell you, I went inside to get this lighter because I was going to light this apple cider candle that I usually only light when I'm reading books, and so it's like hardly, which is not very much these days, it's hardly there, this little light of mine, oh, just went out. It smells so good. But when I was going through, I had taken the candles that were out here. I brought this one out that I still haven't fixed, but the other candles that were out here, I put inside, and one of them was a Shy Wolf candle. And so I was like, I'm gonna bring those Shy Wolf candles back at this one, the Edge of 17 one. Was it that one or Gold Dust Woman? I was like, I'm gonna bring it back out here. Well, when I was looking through the cabinet, look at what I found that I didn't even remember having from last year. This candle. Give me my thumbnail. This little pumpkin candle. I totally forgot that I even had this. It smells like apple cider. I don't know what it smells like. Pumpkin? I mean, it has to be pumpkin flavor, right? What does it say on the bottom of this? I don't even remember where I got it. Pumpkin spice. It's from the Foundry Factory. Foundry? Does anybody watch RuPaul's Drag Race? Do you guys know about that? The Factory. Flag Factory. Foundry Candle Company. Okay. I don't have my wick trimmer out here, so we're just gonna have to, like, do it with this. Come on, wick. It's a pretty little candle though, isn't it? I totally forgot I had it. So I thought, you know what? We're gonna carve open the pumpkin. And we're gonna open that out here. A little candle. And the apple cider candle is burning. So yeah, so off of what I was saying, this practice of living in the moment this year has been, I mean, really difficult at times, I think, especially in times like going through hard times like this. It's like, I want to borrow so much trouble, like, how many days do we have left? Is he going to get better? Whatever. I think I've gotten to this point of peace, though, where it's like when I just went inside and was like checking with Alex and stuff like that, he was just like, Alex was unloading the dishes and he was sitting there like eating dinner. Like, it's like a normal how it was like 3 weeks ago. I wouldn't say he's 100% back to that, obviously, not just with one night of sleep. But if we can get the little guy a couple nights of really good sleep, I think we gave him the trazodone way too early last night, so if we give it to him later, I think that will be good. And Alex agrees with that, so we can get him a couple good nights of sleep, you know. There he is right there. I just walked by. If we can get him a couple nights of sleep, then hopefully things will turn around. I think it's also the reality that I know that Boo Rowley's not going to be here forever. I mean, if his quality of life sucks, he won't be here. I'm not going to do that to a dog, and neither will Alex, you know? And our vet's not going to allow that. But if he's having a good, that's why we're taking it day by day at this point, you know? I mean, if he wasn't doing well today, this would be a completely different video. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have made a video today if he hadn't, like, improved so much today and got some sleep. So, living on a prayer. Okay, so that's the Boo update. Last night when he was asleep, because Alex was like, well, I'm going to be up here in bed, so I'll be right next to him. And I had all these pillows up guarded and whatever, and Alex had all these pillows on his side of the bed, and he's like, he's fine. Alex had his arm over the purple bed and whatever. He's like, just go downstairs and watch some TV and just relax and stuff. So everything that I watched last night, well, I watched the movie earlier when he was asleep, like the first time. And that was, I watched No, I was down there because I came up, I got my iPad and I watched Dragula. Well, first I watched, that was later. So earlier in the evening, I watched Woman of the Hour. I don't even really know how I picked it, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm struggling with the link. Somebody's screaming on that TV show. It's got that so loud in there. I'm struggling getting through The Lincoln Lawyer. Like, I love The Lincoln Lawyer, but it's a show to, like, sit and, like, binge watch, you know, several episodes in a row. And I'm having a hard time doing that with any TV show right now. And so, like, I did it with Sarah this weekend, but just, like, when I'm laser focused on Boo, like, last night was a good practice run for me of knowing that he's going to sleep through the night with the trazodone. And so, and she was like, if it starts wearing off or doesn't work, we'll just, like, increase it and whatever. And so, it was a good, like, practice run for me that I know that when he falls asleep, I mean, it takes, like, you know, a while to work, but when he falls asleep, that he's out for a couple hours, and I can just relax and watch some shows and whatever, you know? And so, so that's my plan for tonight. There's a couple different shows I want to watch. I want to watch the Alyssa Turney documentary that just came out. It's actually, so I just made the announcements for Peter's Book Club and for True Crime Book Club today over my BookTube channel. I announced the books for November. Very excited about the books, but the True Crime documentary is the Alyssa Turney, the Family Secret, Alyssa Turney, whatever. Mel followed that case for a long time. She's really excited to watch the documentary because she said it's an interesting case. I don't know anything about that case, which is exactly the kind of true crime documentary that I like to watch. So I'm going to watch that tonight. 1,000 Pound Sisters comes on tonight, so I'll watch that. What else do I have? Lincoln Lawyer. I'm, like, watching, like, an episode or two. Like, I didn't watch... Did I watch an episode last night? I think I did. Hold on a second. Weekly TV. Dragula, and, okay, so what do I have on tonight? Tuesday. 1,000 Pound Sisters. That's it. Dragula comes out on Tuesdays at midnight. I watched that last night. So all I have tonight is 1,000 Pound Sisters to watch. And then Alyssa Turney came out today. Lincoln Lawyer, I'll probably keep on watching. We'll just see. I might watch Anatomy of Lies. But this is kind of where I'm at with, like, when I watch the shows now. I think this is gonna, I know this probably sounds funny or crazy to people, but, like, because I turn around and make a video about it the next day, it's really, like, I have all these videos to make on my Peter Watches TV channel that I have a list of them on my phone, on my video ideas. But, like, if it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've watched a show, it's really hard for me to go back and do the reaction to it. I like to, like, finish a show and the next day turn around and do the reaction to it because it's in my head, it's fresh. And so since I know I'll do 1,000 Pound Sisters tomorrow because I'm going to watch that tonight, I will probably not watch, and the Alyssa Turney one is, we're doing it for the book club, so I can do that video anytime, and I'll take notes on that as well. But the Anatomy of the Lies, like, I'll probably watch that tomorrow night and then turn around and do the video the next day, or a couple of these other shows. Teacup I want to start, but I want to, like, wait until there's, like, more of it out. I think it's going to be, like, 8 episodes total. And then, what's the other one that's similar to Teacup, but it's called something different? Sweet Pea is also out that I want to watch. So tonight I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna listen to some my audiobook. I've been listening to more and more of that, like a little bit each night. Last night I watched Woman of the Hour. Tanya told me it was really, really good. It's with Anna Kendrick. It's based on a true story. I did not know that it was a real story at all. I mean, I had heard about it, like, but I hadn't heard about the case. I'd never heard about the case. I'd heard of the movie, and I had heard that it was based on a true story, but I didn't really know anything about it. Okay, so I should probably do a whole review over it. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do a review of that. It is a really, really underrated movie. It was very, very well done. I was really impressed with it. It took my mind off of things that are going on, like with Boo Radley and whatever. So what it's about is it takes place in the late 70s, like 1979. It's about this girl named Cheryl, and she was an actress in Los Angeles, and not, like, getting cast in anything, and it was very, like, misogynistic, how all these guys were, like, the producers and the casting agents were asking her, like, to go topless and do this and whatever. But she's wanting to pursue her dream, so she keeps on, like, kind of, like, turning down these things and whatever, and so finally she gets cast on an episode of The Dating Game. And she goes on the dating game. Well, interspersed with all of this, they show, it's about her interacting with a serial killer. And they intersperse it with, like, all the different killings that he did. They show, like, 5-10 minute clips of him killing these different women, leading up to her being, like, on the dating game and interacting with him. I did not know that this was a true story, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. It's just a quick synopsis. It was really, really well done. It's interesting. I'm not a huge Anna Kendrick fan. Like, I like her. She's okay. But, like, she's not somebody that I'm like, okay, run to see every movie she's in. She was fantastic in this movie. She was so good. The styling of this movie, and, I mean, it was so late 70s. It just was really, really well done. I loved it. I wouldn't say it was, like, super scary. The parts with the dating game, which are like the last half of the movie, it reminded me of something else that I watched. Like, I wouldn't say, like, if you watched it by yourself that you'd be scared watching it. It's a good thriller. But, I mean, there's a couple of scary scenes, I guess. But it's not like you would watch it and be like, I'm scared to, like, be by myself or go outside. It's not like one of those movies. But I thought it was really, really well done. I like any of those. It's funny because I'm, like, kind of so, like, there's a new documentary coming out this week about the Zodiac Killer. Actually, it might come out. Does it come out tonight on Netflix at 3 a.m.? Maybe that's what I'll be watching tonight. Does that come out tonight? I feel like it does. Hold on a second. Where's my October? I don't even have that on my list. Because I feel like I've read and seen so many things about the Zodiac Killer, and it's always a different theory, right? This is the Zodiac speaking. Comes out 10/23. So yeah, it comes out tonight at 3 a.m. Oh, Woman of the Hour. I can check that off. I've actually watched quite a few of the things on my list for October. That's crazy. Oh, Matlock and Elsbeth. I still want to watch an episode of those each to see if I like it. Oh, Fanatical, the Catfishing of Tegan and Sarah. I haven't watched that one either. But see, like, that's one. That would be a good example of something that, like, I want to watch that and then respond to it the very next day. So I'll probably hold off on that. I need to finish a Lincoln Lawyer and just get that done. I'm really enjoying it, but it's also kind of one of those shows that, like, I enjoy so much that I want to savor. If that makes sense. But, okay, so the movie reminds me a lot of, like, for some reason, that era of, like, serial killers and true crime really interests me. That late 70s, early 80s era. Like, The Night Stalker. There's a whole movie about him out right now. Has anybody seen that Maxine movie? There's, like, 3 of them, I guess, like, in that series. I don't know anything about him. But I was just reading an article about him the other day. There's, like, one came before that. It's called, like, X. And then there's, like, a prequel to that. And the X one is about, like, they're shooting, like, a porn movie, and there's, like, a killer. Do you guys know about these movies? They're supposed to be really, really good. Maxine's the newest one. It's on HBO Max. I haven't seen it. I think it's on HBO Max. They're supposed to be fantastic. But I think Maxine takes place during the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker has something to do with it. But the Zodiac is the one that, like, I feel like every different theory is so different, and so many things have come out about it. My back is starting to hurt a little bit. But other than that, like, those are some, even the Zodiac ones I'll, like, watch, and I just like that era of true crime, of, like, the Zodiac, the Golden State Killer, the Night Stalker, like, all of that, like, that era I really enjoy watching about, and this felt very much like that, because it takes place in 1979. It was good. I really, really liked it. And then later, I watched Only Murders in the Building. This week's episode was so boring. I feel like this is really good. I have to tell you that the Dr. Pepper one was better, but the Diet Dr. Pepper one, or Diet Dr. Pepper, that's my favorite. You know that. I got like 12 cans in the fridge. But Diet Coke is probably a close, I mean, I've only done 2 of them. But they're both really good. I don't know if it's the coconut syrup or if it's the cream. He usually never plays the TV that loud. Only every once in a while. I wonder why he's that loud. He's like he has like 2 episodes left of Hysteria, so he'll finish that tonight. And then go to bed, probably, because he said he's going to go to bed early. He went and visited his grandma today. Went and hung out with her after work, his grandma, and saw her. Said she's doing good. He's filling me in on what's going on with his grandma and all that kind of stuff. And tomorrow is Cousin Fun Day, so Caroline's coming to get me, and we'll be gone for just a short period of time. And she's going to check in on little Boo Radley tomorrow for me. I talked to her about that today, which is really sweet, but I'm not going to be gone that long anyway. And so yeah. So last night I watched Only Murders in the Building. I didn't love the episode. It just was okay. And that this week you find out who the killer is, I will tell you that. And then there's always a twist to it. It's not like it's exactly always the battery just went to the halfway mark. It's not always like who the killer is. Like, I mean, it is, but it's not. Anyway. So I watched that, and then I was like, you should just go to bed. Because at that point, that was after he fell asleep, which was like, what, 2:30, 2 o'clock, I think. So I watched Only Murders in the Building. I was doing laundry in the basement, cleaning up the kitchen, all kind of stuff. So that was probably at like, I got done with Only Murders in the Building at like 3:30. And so then I was like, you should just go to bed and get a good night's sleep. But I was like awake. Like mentally, I am so awake right now. And so I watched Dragula. And this week of Dragula was not that great either. I don't know why. I just was, I don't know. But I was distracted too. I kept on pulling up my thing to see if he was like up, and he wasn't. And so then finally, I just like, I was like, you need to just go to bed. So I'm getting like all the, like my shows and where I was watching everything confused in my head. I feel like I didn't get any, like, I'm glad he got some sleep. I feel like I need to just force myself to go to sleep. I got this new, like, sleep time, because I was drinking that, like, sleepy time tea, but I got this new one, and it's called the Twinings. It's just called is it Twinings or Twinnings? I don't know. Twinings, I think, sleep. And it's the K-Pods. And, I mean, I get really, really tired off of it. It's crazy. And I've been drinking it for a couple days now. But, like, when I went to sleep last night, like, I struggled going to sleep. But then when I sleep, I was, like, asleep, until, like, I heard him, like, you know, scratching in his bed or whatever. But anyway, so yeah. Well, I was sitting upstairs watching those shows. So what was I watching? Oh, I was watching, I was putting my stuff down. That's when I was like, okay, you need to just go to bed. That was after I was sitting upstairs watching that show. Because that's when I was taking my AirPod out, was when I was watching The Lincoln Lawyer. And I was like, I did watch an episode of Lincoln. I watched half an episode of Lincoln Lawyer last night. And that's when I started getting tired, because I made the tea, and I was drinking the tea, and I got really tired. And then I was like, you just need to go to bed. And that was when, yeah. But I don't even know what time that would have been then. So, it was late. Because I was up when Alex gave him his medicine this morning, and then I took him out after that at 6:30. Because that's when he got up. So hopefully tonight, these candles smell so good. This little apple cider candle, I almost don't even want to pick it up, because I don't want to. This candle, I mean this little candle right here, puts off such a strong scent. It's so nice. And this candle is just pretty, isn't it? She's just pretty. So tonight, like Alex keeps on saying, he's like, you know, while I'm like watching him and stuff like that, and I'm like, he's like, just take a nap. Like, I could not go upstairs right now and just like, I've attempted to take a nap, you know, since this all started. I'm not like able to take a nap at all. I'm just not. I lay there, even if I attempt to, I don't like really fall asleep. I keep on like looking over. Is he like in his bed? Where's he at? You know? So I think my naps are just kind of over for a while. I mean, he's going to either continue to improve or he's not, and then we're going to, you know, have to figure that out. So for the time being, we're just taking it day by day. But tonight, when he gets some sleep, hopefully from the trazodone, we give it to him and he goes to sleep. Hopefully, I'll be able to just like relax, sit out here for a little bit, listen to my audiobook. I listen to my audiobook and I play solitaire, and I like, well, this little one I light out here. And then talk on the phone. Last night, I felt like I talked to so many people last night. And yeah, and then tonight I'm going to watch the Alyssa Turney thing. I might watch the Zodiac one. I don't know how many hours it is. It's one episode. If it's like 4 episodes of like, if it's more of like the deciphering of the code and who they think it is and could it be this person, I'm just like, I feel like we're never going to know who the Zodiac killer is. That's how I feel about it. We're never going to know. And I actually think the Zodiac killer is probably one of these killers they've already caught, somebody else, but what would I know? And if the Zodiac killer, I mean, is probably dead at this point. I mean, when we read the Zodiac Killer book, that was probably 2 years ago. Like, I watched some documentary on the time, and I can't remember that documentary, like, suggested that if the Zodiac Killer was still alive, the Zodiac Killer would be like 80, I think 83 to 86 or something like that. I mean, that's not likely, number one. Number two, I mean, the Zodiac, or the Golden State Killer is older. I think he's like 79 or something. They even like have speculated that they knew each other or they talked and stuff like, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know anything. I don't think we'll ever know who the Zodiac Killer is. That's just my 2 cents on it. But I'm gonna take a shower tonight, put on some like new comfy pajamas. I've been doing like wash today. Put new comfy pajamas on. It's warm out here tonight. Sit out here, listen to my audiobook a little bit. Got Out of the Woods, which my goal was to finish it by Monday. That hasn't happened. It's Tuesday, and I'm still not anywhere near to being done with it. But I am going to finish it this week. I'm going to finish 2 books this week and that graphic novel that I'm reading. Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. Those are my 2 goals for this week. To finish 2 books and that graphic novel. I'm doing that this week. And then I will just have, that'll be August and September's book plus that graphic novel. And then I'll just have October's book for Peter's Book Club, which I can finish next week, and then I'll be completely caught up on Peter's Book Club. I don't know, maybe I was being a little ambitious, trying to think that I was going to get all those books done. You kind of have to keep this, like, keep mixing it, though. Did you guys find out with your dirty sodas? Do you drink dirty sodas a lot? Oh, I wonder if that Swig place is open. If that's open, Caroline and I could go there tomorrow. Swig, Indianapolis. Somebody just commented on my video, one of my videos the other day, and they said, when Swig opens? So, I'm assuming it's not open yet. That's 17 miles away. It's not that far away. Here's, opens Friday, October 25th. Oh my gosh, that is, oh, is that this week? Oh, so next week, Caroline and I can go to Swig. Well, there's one on the south side, but that one is, like, too far away. This one we can go to, because that one's close. Is Swig a Mormon thing? Founded in 2020, Swig originated in Utah, the state with the highest percentage of Mormons in the country. It has expanded since 2021 to 8 states. One of Swig's pinned TikTok videos explains dirty soda in an effort to unite different communities over a shared want for customizable drinks. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives gives dirty soda shop Swig. I mean, that's how everybody's finding out about it now. Swig. Dirty sodas are typically made up of a base soda and infused with various flavors from syrup and creams and poured over pebble ice. Imagine a cross between a Shirley Temple and an egg cream. I don't even know if I've ever had an egg cream. What is... I think I was talking about that the other day. Something about an egg cream. Have I ever had one? I don't know. What is an egg cream sandwich? How about a Cadbury cream egg sandwich? Okay. Oh my God, there's a Wikipedia. An egg cream is a cold fizzy drink that's made with milk, flavored syrup, and carbonated water. It's a substitute for an ice cream float. Why do they call it an egg cream? There's a few theories. Some say it's a variation of the Yiddish word, I can't pronounce this, which means pure sweetness. Another idea is that it's Brooklyn speak for a cream. It also could have been named for the creamy froth on top of the drink that looks kind of like a foamy egg white top. You know what? I used to have that foaming thing, and then I like broke the thing on it, and I just like threw it out. I need to get another one of those foamers. All of my friends, my sponsor, oh my God, she makes all of like her own sodas in this soda machine. She don't even drink them half the time. She's just like, if you go over to her house, she's like, do you want a carbonate? She has like that soda thing. I talked about that on here, right? She don't even drink them half the time. She got all those gadgets in her kitchen. And then she forever is wanting to make like lattes. And she always like tries to make those like heart foam things. She'll like she's like forever trying to do that with it, you know. It never looks like a heart or anything like that. But she's trying. She's trying. My sponsor drinks. You think I drink caffeine? Oh my God. My sponsor... We'll go out to dinner, and at like 10 o'clock at night, she'll like order like a pot of coffee. Not a cup, a pot of coffee at 10 o'clock at night. She's good for calling her at like 4 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. She's always up working on a project. These are the projects she's done in the last year. Well, she redid her entire living room. She painted it. So she's a house, she lives with her 3 little dogs. And so and her house is kind of like out there. It's like she's got a nice house. But anyway, she's always doing projects on it. Like, I mean, huge projects. Like, or projects. Like, she like regrouted her entire bathroom. Like, that took her like 2 days. She sees stuff online and then she's like, I'm gonna do this. And then she painted her whole entire living room. Then she didn't like the furniture anymore, so she sold over furniture and she got all new furniture in her living room. Then, like in the fall and in the summer, she's constantly doing gardening. She's a huge backyard. She has this huge patio with a gazebo on the end of it. She's got all these different sitting areas for when she has a bunch of people over there, recovery people. She's always having, like, you know, tons of people over there. And so she's got like a bonfire pit and stuff like that out there. So she's always doing all this kind of stuff. Last night she's like, I haven't had people over here in a long time. She's like, I need to have people over here. And she's like, I'm coming to pick you up this week. And she's like, and we're getting you out of that house. We're going to go and have dinner and have some fun. She's like, do you want to go dancing? I was like, no, I don't want to go dancing. She's like, you don't want to go dancing with me? She's like, why can't I get anybody to go dancing with you? I said, I'll go dancing with you if you can't get anybody. She goes, Alex will go dancing with me, because Alex and her text. I was like, I said, Alex will go text, or he'll go dancing with you. So anyway, she was so funny. But what was she? Oh, she did a moss wall. That was like, she and her daughter both did that together. I think her daughter saw it and then showed her like she watches like a lot of the HGTV stuff, and she watches like, but anyway, she did like a whole moss wall. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where it's like a wooden wall. It looks beautiful. Like, she'll always tell me, I'll be like, what are you doing? And she'll be like, oh, some project I've never heard of before. And then when you see it, it's like, damn. It's like when you walk into her, like her house, it's like right there. It's like this wall, like this entry wall. And it's like, it has like real like moss growing. I mean, it's incredible. She and her daughter did it. It's like so cool. Somebody just texted me. Who just texted me? Nikki! Oh, Nikki, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. I feel like if I'm going to keep on going, I'm going to need to change this battery in a second, because we're at 26 minutes on the second part of this. And, but it's at the halfway mark. Hold on a second. Let me text her back. Oh, she's checking on Boo. I'm gonna tell her I'm vlogging. Oh, Nikki, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. It auto-corrected it to blogging. Whenever I text people and I say, okay, these are the two things that always auto-correct on my phone. Vlogging corrects to blogging. And haha always autocorrects to gaga. I do not know why. I don't use the words. I don't know the last time I texted anybody about Lady Gaga, but for like years, my phone is autocorrected from haha to gaga. I don't know why. Is she coming out with new music or something like that? Like, I feel like Melissa has been posting stuff like crazy about Lady Gaga. She said, tell everyone I said, hi bitches. That's from 1,000 Pound Sisters. Y'all watch 1,000 Pound Sisters? Okay. She said you can clean that up. Haha. I didn't though, Nikki. I didn't. So anyway. So Nikki says hi, everybody. But that's one of the things I love about 1,000 Pound Sisters is when they walk in, they're like, hey, bitch. I don't know why that cracks me up. There's something so homey to me about 1,000 Pound Sisters. I have had like this pimple on the back of my neck. This is so crazy. So when I was like in high school, people used to like, my friends used to make fun of me because I never had any acne. I know it's kind of something funny to make. They're like, oh, your skin's so perfect, you never had acne. I'm like, I can remember being like, God, I wish I would just get like AZ or something, because all my friends were like making fun of me. Which was when my mom told me that all I ever needed to do was just wash my face with bar soap. But I really think in retrospect, I think that I don't know, like good genes or something like that, because I didn't use anything, you know, special. And in fact, I will say this. For years, I used just bar soap on, oh, the battery is flashing. Okay, let me, is the battery? Yes, the battery is flashing. Let me get off here and go get another battery. Be right back. Okay, so in the 2 minutes that it took me to run inside and get another battery, here's the old battery. It's hot. Woo! Hot, feels good. My mom used to always hold up, we should do it with the dirty soda. She would hold up like a cold glass if she was hot, and she'd go, oh, it feels so good. Or she would like hold up like a hot cup of coffee or hot cocoa or tea, and she'd be like, oh, that feels so cozy, so nice. Anyway, in the 2 minutes that it took me to run inside and get this battery, not even 2 minutes, a minute to come back outside. I guess Alex has more than 2 episodes, because I looked at the TV. He's not as far along as I thought he was. But in the minute or two that it took me to go inside and get this new battery, I completely forgot what I was talking about. So I had to go and look. at the last like 30 seconds of the last part of this video, of this vlog. And then when I like turned it back around and like started it, I almost deleted the 58 minutes of the vlog that I had before, 57 or 50, I don't know, almost an hour. I almost deleted an hour of a vlog. You wouldn't have got a vlog tonight. I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. There would be no vlog tonight. Okay, I'd just be like, I deleted the vlog, there is no vlog. But anyway, speaking about skin, it's interesting because I blame it all on my drama channel. No, I do, because for years and years and years, my mom would say to me, all you need to use is just, you know, bar soap. And my mom swore by it. I don't know why. My mom had like a lot of different like beauty. I mean, it's not like my mom was, she was no skincare expert or beauty expert, obviously, you know. Somebody that used to put lipstick on their cheeks and rub it in and call it rouge. But my mom would just be like, you don't, like, you don't need to use like all these like super skincare products. Although my mom, she was kind of interested in some of these skincare products, especially with my dad being a plastic surgeon. I can remember like later, like in life, she got interested. She used it for a while, retinol products, but then she would like read articles about it and she'd be like, I don't think I want to use it anymore. And then she would go back and use retinol products and stuff like that because they're supposed to, like, I don't know, with wrinkles or whatever. This is before Botox and all that kind of stuff. So she was kind of interested in skincare, but like my mom was interested in like high-end skincare, not like, and I'm not saying that Sephora and those places and Ulta's not, but that's not what I'm talking about. She wasn't talking about going into Macy's and buying, you know, like Clinique. I'm talking about like doctor stuff. My friend Valerie too, she's another person, she's like, she swears by like physician cosmetics or skincare, like period, end of story. My Aunt Kathy was the exact same way. I don't really know that much about it. I know, like, I mean, back in the day, my dad, we would talk about stuff. There was an eye cream that, you know, he would give me every once in a while that, like, he liked or whatever. My dad is not somebody, it's interesting that he gave that to me in retrospect because he's not somebody that, like, uses, like, creams and stuff like that. I don't even know how, I can just remember, like, back in the day, it was, like, this little thing of eye cream. I don't even remember, but anyway, maybe it was just like samples somebody brought him and then he just ended up giving them all to me or something. Maybe like that's what it was and he never used any of them. I don't know, but I did like that eye cream. But anyway, I remember it smelled really good. It smelled really clean. I'm like really weird with like skincare products, like how they smell. Like if it comes to like shampoos and conditioners and lotions and stuff like that for fall and Christmas and whatever, like, yeah, give me the scented ones, like a scented candle, you know, like, let me put on the apple at the end of the day, you know, like the native products. I like the wash and the lotion. The deodorant sucks. The body spray I'm almost out of. It's okay. I mean, it smells like a strawberry shortcake doll, kind of, but, I like that kind of stuff, but what I really like is just, like, either, like, a really, like a cedar, like, balsam, cedar, sandalwood kind of smell, like if I'm going out to go do something, or like if I'm just gonna put on clean pajamas, I like a really clean smell, like clean, like Dial soap, clean smell. I'm really weird about, if you guys watch me, I did this review of the Prada lip balm that I paid $50 for. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And it smelled like a bubble bath. I was like, and somebody commented and they said a lot of high-end products, or like luxury like products, they have like a strong scent to them. I was not aware of that. So anyway, yeah, just stick with your regular chapstick. Don't waste your money on that. But okay, so for years and years and years, I just washed my face with bar soap. And then people, when I started doing like beauty, you know, covering beauty influencers and stuff like that, people would say, Peter, you need to like start buying this. You should try that. Because I got real interested in the skincare and stuff like that. You know, covering a lot of, not skincare, but people, you know, that were doing beauty reviews and stuff like that. And so I would, you know, talk about it in videos and people would say, Peter, you really need to do this. Leary Artistry for years used to send me stuff. It was so sweet of her. She would send me like a lot of like Tatcha products and stuff like that. And she got me hooked on Tatcha products. I still love Tatcha products to this day. But I slowly started, I think I'm like almost out of the rice cleanser, which is my like favorite facial cleanser of life. And so I started using, specifically for my face, I started using, well, I love the Malin Guts lotion and shower gel, but it's super expensive for what you get. It's like a small bottle, and it's like $48 for both, but I love the smell of that. There's two of them that I like. There's like the rum, it's like, smells like Old Spice, but it's called like rum something, and then there's like a peppermint one that I love. The Malin Guts, it's Maelen, and Guts is Goetz. I love those so much. we had actually seen them we found them, the first time I ever was introduced to those products were when we were in the 24C Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky. We were actually there for our anniversary years and years and years ago. And like they had all the different products, like different scents of different products. And I was like, oh my God, I love these. Like the shower gel, lotion. Anyway, the lotion is good because it's very like sedated, but it's like, it smells good. I have the oil as well and the cologne of one of their scents. I think it's the rum one. I can't remember. But anyway, it smells like Old Spice is what it smells. It smells like a nicer Old Spice. But I didn't ever think about ordering it. And then years ago, Alex started watching Chris Olsen, who's a TikToker, and his boyfriend at the time, Ian Padgett, and it was during the lockdown and stuff. And they did all these TikToks together. They're not together anymore. They broke up, and Chris is doing his own thing. He's the one that's real good friends with Meghan Trainor. I don't even follow him or watch any of his stuff anymore. But anyway, he was sober and had gone through like an intervention, and so like Alex would show me his videos and stuff where they would talk about that together. And I was watching some video with Alex, I can't remember, but it was like they were doing like a bathroom video or something. In the background, you could see that they had all these like the bottles in the shower of Malin and Getz. And I was like, oh my God, you can buy the Malin and Getz stuff. Because you know, like when you go to a hotel or whatever, like I had totally forgotten about those, I think, until I saw that. So I was like, I'm going to get online, I'm going to buy some of that. And so I did. I don't even know, like, I think I put it on my list, and then like 6 months later ended up buying it because it was so expensive. So I don't even know if I connected it at the time when I actually did buy it to when I had found it. So yes, he's very much an influencer just because he had it in the back. Product placement, no. It wasn't that. It was just like they had. I think he might have just been like bathroom products that I like to use or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Or Get Ready With Me or something like that. I think maybe it was him singing in the bathroom, actually. I don't even know. It was years ago. I like those products. Okay, but here's the thing. So people started telling me that I should buy it, like high-end, like face care products. They're like, oh, you wash your face with bar soap? You shouldn't do that. So I started using the products. I started using the Tatcha, and I started using the Dewy Mist Spray by Tatcha, which I love. And I started using the one that I can never pronounce, the Poussey Rocher or Roche or whatever, the spray, which I love. And I started using the under eye creams, and I started using the lotions on my face, the special lotions and all this kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I really, and the exfoliators and all this kind of stuff, I almost kind of feel like it made my skin look a little bit more tortured than it used to in reality, you know? I mean, I've been through it in the last month. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm sure that my eyes, and I'm sure that, like, just every video that I'm putting out right now, like, I just look like I haven't slept in a month. Like, I look exhausted. I've been going through it, you know, with my little dog and stuff like that. And I know that you guys know that. But other than that, I'm talking before that. It's like, I feel like all of that stuff that I was doing was like, it's like, okay, you know when they talk about how, like, if you use chapstick, like, it just makes your lips dry. There's, like, something in it that makes your lips drier, so you have to keep on putting it on. Have you guys heard that? Okay. Is that a myth? I don't know. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's total truth. But, like, to some degree, that's how I felt, like, with the facial products. Because I can remember when I started it, like, I did break out a lot. And I started getting acne, like, at 45, or I guess it would have been 48 or 9 at the time or whatever, that I started, like, really seriously using those skincare products. And I can remember, like, breaking out a lot, like, in my face, and just my face looking, like, really, like, tortured a lot and whatever, when before all I had ever done was wash my face with bar soap and put a Vino lotion on it. And that was fine for 48 years of my life. But the second I started using, like, a lot of skincare products on there, and I try to kind of steer away from it today, in all honesty, like, now I'm fascinated with it. Now I like to buy the products. I think it's kind of fun, and I like doing the sprays and all that kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I don't think it makes my skin look any better condition. I don't think my skin is in any better condition from doing it. I think water and cleaning your face does miracles. Do I think that there are people out there that need to go to dermatologists and use specialized skincare? Absolutely, 100%. Do I think that there are skincare products that can help with wrinkles and things? Like, 100%. I believe in all of that stuff. I just don't know that I think that stuff for me works really great. I do remember my mom using retinol, and she would say, like, it broke her, like, made her look red, like, in areas, and that's why she didn't like it. And then she would say, well, she was like, I can remember her being like, I'm using too much of it, and then she would, like, show us, like, literally, like, a dot. She had, like, a tube of it, and it was, like, a dot on her finger. I don't know, I can tell, like, if I go to town and I do, like, an exfoliate, and I know that it's, like, the processing the next couple days, but I have consistently used skincare products for long enough now. I mean, I take them on vacation. I use them on vacation, especially if we're out in the sun. I always do, like, the exfoliating and hydrating masks, and I put lotion on at night and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I do all of it, right? I'm not in a transition period of using skincare anymore. I mean, it's like at this point, like we should be there. You know what I mean? And yet I still feel like I don't think it's a whole lot better. And feel like, in fact, I feel like it's made, I should actually do a test and just stop using all that stuff and just use Aveeno lotion and bar soap. Because I feel like the circles under my eyes have gotten worse since I started using skincare products, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I've always sworn, you know, of drinking a lot of water and lotioning from head to toe every day when you take a shower. I swear by lotioning. I literally, in all the times I've gone up and down, up and down, and up and down in weight, I have one stretch mark. It is like this big. It's on my side, and I've had it for like 10 years. Maybe longer than that, maybe 20 years. I've gone up and down on that scale like a million times. Y'all know that, right? And I've got one little stretch mark from it. And I swear that's from, and I don't even drink as, my husband drinks probably, I mean, I drink enough water. I drink a lot of water. But he probably drinks twice as much as I do a day, you know? And, but I swear by lotioning. And Aveeno lotion is what I've used for a long time. I mean, every once in a while, like, I'll use that native lotion if I, like, you know, want to smell like a strawberry shortcake doll, which he does. You know, but, like, feeling fallish and putting on clean pajamas or whatever. Or the Malin and Getz, if I'm going out, I usually use that lotion and whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What are you guys going to watch tonight? Oh, my vlog. Thank you. Should I read a couple nice comments? Because you guys are always so sweet to leave me comments. Let's read a couple comments. I'm not going to probably read any comments that are directly related to Boo, but I will say you guys have continued to be so sweet with the really, really nice comments. And I just want to say I appreciate it. The DMs, the support, and all of it. And you guys just, and even just like, just leaving a blue heart, or, you know, just watching my videos enough. But when people say things like, oh, just sending prayers and positivity, or sending good thoughts to you and Alex and Boo for a good evening, that just means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's read some, oh wait, this is my AITA video. I'm reading my comments on the AITA video. Those videos never get that much traction over there, but I have fun time doing them. I don't really care. I just like to, you know, have fun with those over there. Okay. Charlotte left a lot. 45 minutes ago, she left. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? I feel like Charlotte just left a comment on my ATA video. We'll have to go check and see. I feel like I just read a comment of Charlotte's on some other video that I just did. Was it Charlotte that left another comment on here? Where did I read? Charlotte, where are you? I feel like I just read a comment that you left on one of my other videos. Charlotte, you're hiding. Hi, Charlotte, how are you? Okay, so Charlotte left pink and blue and red, no, pink and blue hearts. Kimberly said, yes, please do some longer vlogs. You have helped me get through my anxiety and panic episodes recently, and I appreciate it. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. I am so sorry that you're going through that right now. Can you tell I'm trying to make this a little bit of a longer vlog today? I mean, I'm trying to when I can, but I appreciate that. That means so much to me, and I'm sorry you're going through a hard time right now. That means a lot to me that this is helping you. Oh, Teresa said, as a fellow panic sufferer, I'm sending you calming thoughts. I hope that these calm you down. Yeah, I feel for you. Cauliflower is trying to catch up on the vlogs. Okay, so she said 1 hour ago, eight days behind now. Girl, you are so proud of yourself. She's catching up. I love when people are like, oh, I'm going back the last year. I'm watching all the vlogs from the last year. Catching on the ones I haven't seen. Daisy said, oh my god, I was so invested in all the vehicles driving up. Okay, so you know what's so interesting about it is, so today when I was out there talking to my neighbor, she said to me, did you see a weird car out here in the neighborhood last night? And I was like, yeah, I did. I actually went and talked to him. He's parked right in front of your house. I said, why? And she goes, because she was talking about her in the corner. She goes, she was really scared last night. She almost called the police because he sat out there like earlier in the evening, and then it was the same car came back out there and sat out there later in the evening. And she said, what did you say to him? And I just said that he doesn't need to be parking in front of people's houses. He just needs to go. Like, this is, whatever. And she was like, well, thank you. She was like, because there's a lot of people in the neighborhood that are really scared about stuff like that. And she goes, and we just had that car that was driving through here, with the tinted windows and stuff like that. And she goes, I think people are starting to get a little bit freaked out. She's like, I think we have to look out for one another. And I was like, so she knew that he was out there, and she was like, yeah, and she didn't want to go out there and say anything. She almost called the police on him, but she didn't want to, be rude or mean or something like that. She thought maybe it was like somebody parked here, but he just stayed in his car and was parked there. She goes, and he came back later that night. I did not see him later last night, but I wasn't outside unless I was taking Boo Radley outside last night, and I sat and listened to my audiobook for a little bit. So I did not see him, but she said that second time he came back, he was parked on her side of the street, like right in front of this woman in the corner over here that lives in the lake, who's like friends with her grandma. And so apparently she was really scared by seeing that car out there. So anyway. Yeah. Okay. I was invested with it too. So thank you so much for that, Daisy. I was almost a Daisy, by the way. If I had been a girl, I would have been Daisy or Phoebe. Have I told that story before? So my mom loved both Catcher in the Rye. So I would have been Phoebe, which was Holden Caulfield's sister. And she's actually in the Rye scene when they're in the Rye. I would have been Phoebe, from my dad hated that name. He would say Phoebe. I would have been Phoebe, which with the TV show Friends would have ruined me for life. So I would have either been Phoebe from Catcher in the Rye, or I would have been Daisy from The Great Gatsby. Those were my mom's two favorite books. And Peter, I was either gonna be Peter or Noah. And my mom loved both of those names. I think I could kind of be a Noah too, But, which is weird because my middle name is Alexander. So I'm Peter Alexander, which Alex's name, is Alex as well. Well, he's Alejandro. But, so the reason why my mom loved the name Peter was because Peter was Jesus' best friend. And, the whole story of not wanting to be, like, all this stuff with, anyway. My mom loved the story of Peter and Jesus, Rock of Life, Strength, things like that. But she also loved the folk singer, Pete Seeger. And she also thought that as I got older, my name could change throughout the years. Like I could be a Pete to some people, a Peter to other people, whatever. It's interesting because my dad and my stepmom call me Pete. Alex sometimes calls me Pete, but very rarely. Tanya sometimes calls me Pete. Her son calls me Uncle Pete. Her husband calls me Peter. Just a few people call me Pete. Caroline doesn't call me Pete. Most people call me Peter. What's weird is, like, when I meet somebody, it's usually, like, somebody's husband, and I met him for the first time, and they're like, so, hey, tell me about this YouTube thing that you do, They're like, Pete, and I'm like, okay, we do not know each other well enough for you to be calling me Pete. I always think it's so weird when people do that to me, but anyway. Do y'all have that with, like, nicknames and stuff like that? Okay. Oh, Vic said that was very resourceful to use that air fryer thing for Boo Radley to eat off of. He's just, oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, it's working wonders. Oh, today, that was the other thing. Today, he's not as messy with the food. Like, he was doing a really good job of, like, I mean, it's around there, but, like, not how it has been the last week. So I don't know what that, I don't know what good sleep got him to not be so messy in the kitchen. I do not know. I'm very confused about it. Okay, Vic said, I feel very unsettled by that man in the car. He was, I mean, actually, it was, like, really nice. I mean, to be honest with you, I could probably care less. But for my neighbors, I don't know. Like, you never know. I mean, the thing is, the average age of my neighbor is, like, it's, like, 85 in here. 80, 85. I mean, on either side of me, they're young. And on the corner, but like the rest of the neighbors, most of them in here, I mean, they're like older. Like a lot of them like don't even leave their houses in the winter. A lot of people travel other places, during the winter, but the people that are here, like they just don't leave. They have all their like groceries, DoorDash and stuff like that, or not DoorDash, but what's it called? Instacarted and stuff like that. I will say this because people leave a lot of comments about, and it makes me really happy that you feel so comfortable to leave, like, really tragic, sad stuff that happens to you. I specifically do not read those comments in vlogs because I don't want somebody, when they're going through a really hard time, to feel called out. I just want to say that. But for anybody right now that's going through a loss or going through a really hard time, I'm sending you guys lots of love and lots of prayers, and lots of positivity. you guys have given that to me, and I hope that through my videos, I give you a place of respite where you can just turn it on in the background and listen to me nonsensically talk about my life. It's one of the reasons why I love doing the vlog. It's not like I ever think that I have anything that important to say, but I get so many people that are like, I just turn you on in the background and it's comforting to me, you know? Somebody reached out to me the other day and they were like, you know, like, I don't really have a lot of people in my life, and to turn on your vlogs in the background just makes me feel like I have a friend talking to on the phone. That, like, means a lot to me. I know that nothing that I say over here is life-changing. Nothing that I say on any of my channels is life-changing, you know? But that somebody can find comfort in me just sitting on this silly old porch talking, and that you guys give me that comfort and that support in return it's really magical. It really is. It's very cool. And if you're going through really, really hard times right now, I just want to say that I'm sending lots of love to you, and I believe in prayer, so I'm sending lots of prayer to you as well. So, okay, I'm going to go inside. I made it almost an hour and 20 minutes, a little bit longer, not as long. I was going back and looking at some of those vlogs, and they were like 2 hours. I was doing like hour and a half, 2 hour vlogs on a regular basis. We'll try to get back to that, you know? When the winter time comes, and I'll light some candles and sit out here with my heated vest, and we'll sit out here and we'll have a little bit of a chat this week, this weekend. Well, maybe this weekend, maybe this winter. But right now, you know, with things going on with Boo Radley and whatever, I just want to kind of take it day by day. So, I filmed videos on all my channels today. I can't believe that. I feel like I have been filming for 7 hours, non-stop. I've been filming since I started filming at like 1 o'clock. It is 8:05 right now. So I've been filming for 7 hours today. How do I even still have a voice? I still have so much more to say. I could honestly, if I didn't want to go inside right now and just spend some time with Alex and Boo, I could probably sit here and talk for another hour and a half. So one of those is coming very soon. Let me know. You know what? I was reading through the comments. I don't know if anybody, I think somebody did say, I'll have to go through there and look again. What was my longest vlog on here? You can just put the time that it was if you know. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. If nobody else has told you today, I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And whatever you're going through, I'm sending lots of love, lots of peace and serenity to you. And make sure to surround yourself with people that love you and care about you. And if you don't have a lot of people in your life, please make sure that you love and take care of yourself. It's the most important thing. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.